Hi, everybody. Welcome to the
Hello.
podcast.
Welcome.
Glad you're here. Happy Monday. We've got a huge, quick agenda for you. Actually, it's going to be a shortened version, so you don't have to sit here for a whole hour and listen to me ramble on to these trailed off
Thoughts.
subjects and thoughts. Number one, and a really big deal in the hair industry, is about the latest tax bill, which is really out to help hair salons. So want to just create some awareness around that because it's in the House of Representatives right now, and it could be up for a vote soon. We're keeping our fingers crossed. We're going to talk about that in this video. We are going to talk about, what does that say?
Wow, you have really good handwriting.
I know what it says. Talk about our good friends and family in Philadelphia,
Oh,
Ron and Gab.
Ron and Gab. Okay, I see
That
it
really
now.
says that. You saw my
Chicken
writing.
scratch.
I can't read it. We're going to talk about Ron and Gab, which is a part 2 from last time. Also, another very innovative marketing person from the area.
Content creator.
Yeah, really cool stuff. We're going to talk about him in here. Of course, a spotlight on good people. A hidden gem of a restaurant, a magic Pearl. We're going to talk about the Pearl restaurant and the
yummy.
people, the owners of that restaurant. So you're going to want to check that out too. This is also the anniversary week for when...
Yes, 2 weeks to stop the spread.
Yeah, it was only going to be 2 weeks we were going to be closed. It's the anniversary of the beginning of the pandemic in this area. And of course, we're going to spotlight or have a quick conversation or introduce you to somebody who's real and who Lexi, representing the millennial group, enjoys seeing.
He's a nice boomer.
And she's a motivated, non-lazy millennial too. Okay, right? You know how they classify us in different things. Okay. And the last one is the fitness challenge, an update on the fitness challenge. So stay tuned. You do not want to miss the rest of this. It's not that much longer. Hang in there.
And you get a prize.
Yeah, here you go.
Always a prize.
So here we are, week, is it 5? Could this be the 5th time?
5th time.
Yeah, okay, 5 in a row. It's another Monday, March 15th, halfway through the month of March. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. We are doing an abbreviated version today, but have a few things to talk about. And the first one is something that I'm going to not even tell you what I'm leading off with, and I'm just going to go. This whole taxes on tips issue, which I think is called the fair. So taxes on tips for salons. Where did the big one go? The whole one that I had. There we go. That's the big one. Okay. So I don't know if people know this, and I don't think they do, and it frustrates me because it makes it difficult for people who come to hair salons, in particular our hair salon, makes it a problem for them because not being able to put a tip on a credit card. So this is whether you believe in tips or not, or however tipping goes. I mean, if you get great service and you want to leave a gratuity, the opportunity to do that, as you do in a restaurant, it's very simple. You just sign away, put the amount on there.
People want to leave a gratuity,
So the law, so if people don't know, House bill aims to extend payroll tax credit to beauty industry. The bill introduced Friday in the House of Representatives would extend a tax break for some employers who pay payroll taxes on tips received by their employees to businesses in the beauty industry. It's called the Small Business Tax Fairness and Compliance Simplification Act, introduced by Representative Darren LaHood of Illinois, or as you say, Illinois. I don't know which one it is, right? I always say Illinois.
Illinois.
Illinois. I don't know. How does Lincoln say it?
I don't know.
So what happens? The credit is currently available to the food and beverage industry and covers an employer's portion of FICA taxes paid on employee tips. So right now, where did the history of it go? Here it is. There's an element marked down here. The bottom line is this. We pay. So if somebody leaves a tip for an employee in a restaurant, whatever amount you write down, if you write down $10, or I'll leave it at 10. I'll have to do the math here. Okay. So if you write down you're leaving a $10 tip for somebody. That $10 tip goes, usually they put it on the employee's check as a tip. And the restaurant itself, as the employer, pays no taxes on that. That is a separate line item on the paycheck that the employee then pays their portion of FICA, and they pay any a federal withholding income tax too. However, in a hair salon, that same $10, the employer has to pay a matching 7.65% on that $10. So it's not revenue to the business. It's in no shape or form part of the income of a salon. It's a direct transaction with a client and the stylist, which it's the $10 that they're giving to them for great service or whatever it is, $20, whatever the amount is. So the difference is this: in a restaurant, you leave a tip, the $10 goes directly to them. The restaurant doesn't pick up another 7.65% of that. So on every $1,000, it's $76.50 that has to be paid in taxes. So that with the exodus in the beauty industry of most people going to, they called it independent or suites, or there are very few salon employer-based salons anymore. And one of the reasons for that is that there's an additional tax burden that doesn't apply to all small businesses. It's interesting because back in the 90s, the restaurant industry had a real huge lobby. They were able to put up a lot of money to get a lot of politicians to agree with them. So the politicians did agree, but they said only for restaurants will you not have to pay the taxes on those tips. Hair salons will, and hair salons don't have a big lobby or a big contingency of people that pay professional convincers. That's what a lobbyist is, somebody who just, woos and schmoozes a politician to believe in their point of view. The restaurant industry did a good job. So for all these years, salons have had to pay that additional amount of money. So right now there's something on the table proposed by this Darren LaHood, Representative Darren LaHood of what areas of Illinois?
I think
Springfield, did you say?
Yeah, Peoria.
Peoria, okay. So he's a representative, U.S. representative from that area. He's proposed this. This has been in conversation for many, many years, and it's come to light more recently, and I think it actually may have a better chance of passing finally, that this is not a tax reduction. It's really, it just levels the playing field is all it's doing. It's saying to hair salons, but it would enable us to make it a much more seamless transaction for people too.
And right now we don't allow gratuities on cards. So it's very awkward when you have a guest coming into the salon paying for our services, and then at the end, especially like new guests who don't know this, because how do you even communicate that ahead of time? It's awkward. It's weird.
It makes us sound like we're cheap. Like, we don't want to pay the discount rate on it. We don't want to pay the merchant fee on it. But that's not what it is at all.
Right. So it's always an awkward conversation at the end. This woman just had this great, amazing experience, and then I have to say,
in a high-end salon.
Right. And then they go, oh, can I add the gratuity on the card? And I say, oh, cash or check only. We do have an ATM, and I can offer you change as well. But it's awkward and would be much more. I would love to be able to offer that to guests, especially it's such a cashless society right now.
Yeah. And we just, the bottom line is those tips still need to be reported for us to pay the tax on them. But ultimately what is happening is people are leaving the industry. They're going away from the industry and finding a new form of it, which is independence. So they do not have the same tax requirements when a tip is given. So they don't have to do the matching. And it's really just causing people to find other loopholes, and that is the loophole. So it also is a disincentive for a small business owner to be a salon. Instead, they become landlords, and they have suites and booth rental and those type of situations, instead of having a business where they have employees and a team of people that work under one roof together, because there's a higher expense. It's, on every tip that's given, they've got to pay an additional tax on it. So supporting this bill is a big deal. That's the House bill. I think there's a Senate version too. So I'm thrilled about it, that it could actually finally be happening. And it would be so great for the industry as a whole, and so great for us, and just be a convenience to people to make it so much easier for people.
I just looked over and I was reading the title, and it says tax credit could save industry of women-owned businesses.
That's a big deal because most women do own this.
Yes.
Own salons. Most salons are owned by women.
Well, and we have a lot of women.
Yeah, this is in In line with the findings that women and minorities have been disproportionately affected by the recession. 60% of salon owners are women and 34% are minorities. The majority, 83% of these suffering small businesses, employ fewer than 10 people. Many salons have simply crashed and will not reopen their doors. The salons that have been fortunate enough to continue operating are largely down over 50% in revenue for the first half of, that's last year, of 2020. So this bill was introduced initially in September, and I guess a revised version just was reintroduced because they've been introductions of this bill for many, many years, and it's gotten to a hopeless point because there's people that have really poured their heart and soul into this over years to try to have this actually happen, and it just hasn't. We are watching the collapse of the beauty industry. Between February and April of 2020, the number of jobs at employment-based salons dropped by 84%, according to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Only 93,000 people were on payroll at employment-based salons in April, down from 569,000 in February. This represents the fewest number of salon jobs in well over 5 decades.
Wow, that's fascinating.
In June, this is of 2020, salon jobs remained at 200,000, 35% below pre-coronavirus employment levels. So this tax bill is, this isn't handing money out. I mean, essentially, it's taking money away from the government that I think ultimately the government will experience more tips because people will then, they will be reported, more salon owners will be reporting those tips. So that there will be probably a windfall and not as many people trying to circumvent the system as it is right now. But it is kind of unfair. It's just odd how they did that, how they carved out restaurants and left salons in there. But that's, people don't know that. That's just something that's been around for a long time.
And what it's interesting, what's interesting that it said earlier is how many salons actually have a payroll now. That's because, like he's saying, the suites and everything, that's a pretty low number, and only 93,000 people were on payroll from employment-based salons. That's crazy. But what's interesting,
that's nationwide.
Yeah, that's insane. That's not a lot. That's wow. But what it also said is this: it's talking about the salon. When they reopened, people were being very generous since they were closed, and they're being more than generous. And, he's saying paying out 7.65% of the tip from the business without even receiving any revenue on that is crazy.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because the fact was that people were, there were so many incredible hearts and incredibly kind souls that when salons did reopen, they were being very generous with the stylists. Of course, very grateful too. I think to have salons back and opened up so they could, feel good again about themselves and look good and have the salon experience in a new way. But either way, that was an additional burden on a salon because it was more tax money that they would have to pay that they have no control over, absolutely no control. It's like a transaction happening on the street and the IRS driving by and saying, oh, by the way, 2 people exchange money out there. Let's charge you 7.65% of whatever they just exchanged over there. And we don't have any basis on any of that. If somebody came in and gave somebody a $10,000 tip, that's going to be a $765 tax burden on a salon that they have no control over.
Right.
It'd be nice if somebody did that. I'm sure that's happened in other places before where, you see those things on Facebook where the people leave the big tips.
The huge, massive tips, yeah.
So anyway, we get people support on that. Boy, that's awesome. Just so people are aware of it, and you'll know about it here firsthand as soon as that does pass. And I will have to pass on a thanks. I know a lot of people have worked really hard on that, but Representative LaHood, we'll have to get in touch with him. I think I'm going to write him a letter or contact him in some way to see where this is going and follow up with him on that and give you guys an update on that. So
wonderful.
Yeah. All right. I was talking to a guy named Pascal, who's a stylist from the Chicago area, who commutes here. He comes here on a regular basis, and we're in discussions of him maybe being a part of our family. And he's an established stylist in the Chicago area. And I had a conversation with him last week, and he was telling me about some of the things that have happened up there. And one of the salons, the salon that he's currently working in, had converted from an employee-based salon to a landlord-based. I know they're not known as landlord-based, but that's kind of what they become when they go to a suite or a booth rental situation. The salon owner is not really a salon owner; they're really a landlord. It's never communicated like that, but that's pretty much what it is because they lose all.
It's a bunch of individual businesses within one business,
And that's not that's just they have no control over the end product after that because they're not employees. They can't tell the employees what time to be there, how to dress, or how to, what standards to have. It's just they're independent businesses within that area. It's like how a mall or a market works, where people even a farmer's market where they rent out little individual spaces and people sell and do whatever they want, dress whatever they want. Now, that's not a dish on that model, but this type of tax thing is forced that. Well, what else has happened here in this case? Pascal was sharing with me that in Chicago, the salon that he is at converted in 2019 from an employee-based salon to a suite or a booth rental type. That meant that when the pandemic hit and it went time to apply for the PPP, because she had no payroll in 2019 because she had converted to just rental income versus
that's what I was even
income.
just saying before, that when there's only 93,000 people who are
actual employees, right? She had no payroll to get. The PPP is based on the payroll protection program is based on prior year's payroll, which would be 2019. She was not able to apply for that. So what happened, being as close as long as they needed to be up there, which was a lot longer than it was here in Florida, she didn't have the funds to keep it open, to continue to pay her rent where she was, because she wasn't getting the income from the stylist that she had to. So sadly, she lost her salon, or the place where she had a salon. And so sad through this. And I'm hoping that there's something silver lining comes out of it, that this might be one of the things that will be good for the benefit of the beauty business.
That is so sad. It's crazy. Whoever thought, and this, it's exactly. It was interesting. I'm getting, you start getting alerts on a year ago. This is what you were doing, and it was so funny to see. Like exactly a year ago was like one of the last times I went out before it happened.
This was the time, right about now, was where all the talk was starting. And we were still open. Places had started to close. There was no mandate to close. Right, places had begun to close.
They started
talked about
to.
closing.
People started freaking out. That was when the panic started happening. But it's crazy. I remember I saw a TikTok even of, it was these girls, and they were like, it had this eerie music in the background, and it was like, oh my gosh, we get 2 weeks off of school for Corona, yay! And they were like, if only we knew.
Yeah, because who knew? We thought, this will be over in a little bit. They'll just close
2 weeks
up
to stop the spread.
Stop it, and it'll be all done. In fact, I think we had made a video about this time last year.
We made a video saying we were staying open.
We were going to be open. It was okay to be open. Nobody was mandated to be closed. We were following the guidelines. And I remember just getting completely trashed because I was going to be the one responsible for killing so many people. And that was before all the data was out, or any data was out.
Nobody really even knew. He got all these comments that were like, how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, we were the murderers. We were responsible for all the people who died in Collier County and Lee County last year, and we didn't stay open beyond when we were supposed to. We closed when we were supposed to, and we've done everything by the guidelines and the way it's supposed to be. But I remember all the experts sitting at home deciding how the future of our economic future was going to be based on our decision to be open when we were allowed to be open before I think it was the 27th of March. Was our last day last year.
And I remember, I just had a memory pop up on Snapchat. I remember they had just canceled the St. Patty's Parade, and that was a big deal. That's what everybody does in Naples on St. Patrick's Day.
They canceled it last year.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, okay. But they still did all this stuff on the street. It just wasn't the same parade. But it was just crazy because everybody was like, this is insane. This is crazy. I remember going out and everybody was like, this is crazy. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. And then it's like, okay, now I believe it.
Yeah, and that's why people are pretty pumped about St. Patrick's Day this year. I can see that there's a lot of people really excited about it. I don't know. It looks like around what you see the green. I mean, it wasn't, it's this weekend, right?
People celebrated it this weekend, but it's not until I think tomorrow or the next day, right?
Oh, so they do it the weekend before?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I saw a lot of pictures of people. I don't know. I don't celebrate it, but it's a good day to drink.
Yeah,
a good week to drink
like,
or whatever.
yeah. I saw they
drink.
changed the color in the Chicago River. Or
to green?
Yeah.
Did they? Oh, really? So they were allowed to do that this year. Okay, so people are pumped about that. This guy that we've been talking about, or that I've seen. I saw a while ago. I know you follow him on. And now I follow him on Instagram, and he's a local realtor.
He makes really interesting content. You can just tell his whole heart. He's got a great sense of humor, and he just is doing something different that not every other.
It was so clever. When one video you sent me, it was just so clever. It was so. It wasn't like watching an ad, and that was the unique thing about it, because, that's one of the things that's driven people away from television. The way it is, you have these, ads forced down your throats,
or even down on Instagram. Everything often seems so scripted, and it's like, ew, like I don't know, who wants to listen to an ad? You think somebody's actually genuinely talking to you, and then you realize it's an ad, But he's local. He's a local real estate agent. But there
are a lot of them. I know there's a lot of realtors here, and real estate's really hot right now. But he stands out a little bit because of what he does.
He's got a great personality.
Yeah, I want to talk to him at some point. I'm hoping we can have him on the podcast here or talk to him in some way, because the video and I'll link it here, and you could kind of watch it going on.
But you have to put his name.
But we'll put it up here, and you could probably see it in the background there, Back to the Future version of it. But they just did an awesome job of it. It was entertaining at the same time.
Funny.
Getting Derrick's name out there. So, hey, Derrick, we're talking about you. Great work, great effort that you put into entertaining us at the same time. So, really appreciated that. So, we'll have to see how that goes. We can get him on here.
Marty, it's time for you to go back and tell everyone the incredible houses they have in 2020. 2020. What a year. Well.
Also, we did a sort of a shout out, a public invitation to Ron and Gab up in Philadelphia, a fellow family, and our family up there. And
they are what amazing humans. The day they saw it, we got this message from them, and it was like they just most genuine, kind human beings that just fill your heart with love. And
that's why they're such a fit for our culture, and that's why we want them here, because they're just such good people. And the focus of what we do on here is really the focus where we always end up is the spotlight on good people, on good human beings, good people. And whether that's inside or outside or around. And this weekend, before I move to that, I wanted to just say it's very likely that they'll be here. So follow along, because they're working on the logistics up there, and we want to make sure that it's a educational experience for them, and also a working vacation experience.
So in case anybody doesn't know, didn't see last week, so Ron and Gabby are like my cousins almost, so to speak. They live in Philadelphia, so they're from where originally Robert Sr. was from. Their grandparents were best friends with my grandparents, and they're amazing human beings. And last episode, we offered them to come down to Naples, and they're a barber and a stylist up there. So we invited them to come here and be kind of like guest artists in Naples for a while.
So we learn from each other, sort of a collaboration, kind of when two, lately I've been listening to Sting and Shaggy. They did a lot of collaboration work, and those are two extremes of music together. Sting and Shaggy. They did,
didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's great. I love it. But they collaborated with their musical styles, and this is but this is a collaboration for stylists, and to kind of learn from each other, feed from each other.
They're like cut from our cloth. That's a piece of our history. Deep piece of our history, who we are as a brand. So that's
they just have
exciting.
The heart of it too. So we just stay tuned. We'll have them around here, right?
Yay,
Ron,
they're coming.
Right, Gab? See you soon. Get ready. I know Gab's got to talk to her boss up there, because she's having a baby any day now. So congratulations.
And shout out to Lou and Maria.
Yeah. Hi guys. All right. This needs to be addressed, because if I don't put a specific number on it, if I'm not held accountable to it, it will never, ever happen. And it's something we've been talking about on a regular basis. It's got to be a buy when and how much,
I know,
because
that's how we always works.
it's got to be. It just can't be vague. Like, yeah, we'll see how we do next week, and I got my 7 days or 6 days or whatever it is. Has to be. So I'm going to put my numbers up here, so that ding on there, because I don't know them exactly.
You're putting your numbers. You're putting like.
You don't have to put your numbers if you don't
not,
want
I'm
to.
putting my numbers.
Okay.
Get the heck out of here, dude.
Well, that's right. That wouldn't
He's
work.
talking about weight. I'm
Yeah.
not putting. No.
Okay,
I could
but
put-
what your goal is, so we
Yes.
can talk about what the goal is. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want to do
cool.
a percentage or I don't know.
Yeah,
how
yeah.
we
We'll
can
do
it.
that. Yeah,
All right,
I'll
well,
do that.
I'm putting my numbers because I have to. I have to have them
Well,
because
now
it has to be concrete.
because it's going to be online, so you totally have to. We have to hold him accountable. We're going to
Well,
make
it's
a
gonna be
challenge.
easy because I just made it public.
I know,
Whatever that
I know,
number is, I
that's
just
why.
made it public, so I'm screwed now. I have to do it. So anyway, that's what will motivate me. I think the last time was $1,000 bet. The last time I had got myself in good shape was
So
over
what's the bet now?
painful. I don't know. What should it be? What do you want to do? I did $1,000 bet with Jeff. I can't do $1,000 bet with you because you're broke.
How about
Single mom.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. We could ask them.
Yeah, what should we do?
Yeah. So if you watch this, what could the bet be between a father and a daughter? A baby boomer father and a millennial daughter. What's the bet going to be? The loser and the winner. Okay.
That
so
I can if I'm not going to lose. I'm very competitive. If I do, what's something that I can actually live up to my word?
Yeah. Okay. So the bet. There's the numbers. We're waiting for you to see what the actual bet is, and we're going to do this in 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
Okay, and there's the dates, all the information about that. Tell us what we're going to be putting at risk.
I could go for like a good Capital Grill dinner.
Yeah, that might not be painful enough for me. I need to feel more either embarrassing pain, maybe something embarrassing. I don't know. It could be something like that.
We could do
Capital Grill
something.
and something embarrassing too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even going to suggest it. We'll see what you put. So this is up to you. If you actually get to this part of the video and you see this, what could we have as a consequence of not getting my ass in shape? What's it going to be? I don't know if you noticed this or not, but over the course of the past week, and I think it's just kind of in the juices right now, I have seen some of the most beautiful work go out of the salons. Extraordinary, beautiful, gorgeous work. And I don't know whether it's because, I noticed there were some people who were coming back for the first time in a year.
A lot
and
of COVID
all their hair is grown out and all the rest of it, but just some gorgeous looks going out. I mean, our team is just on point like I've never seen. Just doing
all
some
the
beautiful, beautiful
transformations.
work.
That's what I think I've seen the most of
Yeah.
recently. I've seen people come in looking one way and they leave, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that's
Yeah.
the same person that came in.
Transformations, yeah. Just amazing. I mean, you'll probably see some of them on the screen here as we're talking about this, but there's so many more. Just, and the picture doesn't even do any of it justice, just the look
Right.
of them, because there's
Right.
also the way that people are, you could see the way their heart is singing and how happy they are in this, getting that sexy back. It's really cool to see. So congratulations. Just a
That was
great
funny.
team. I mean, I'm just so proud of them when I see the beautiful work. Back to Spotlight on Good People, because this was something I wanted to say before when I was talking about a spotlight. We went to, Michelle and I went out for the first time this weekend since
Ooh.
everything that has happened. We have not been, not just because of COVID, but because of COVID.
They had a lot going on.
She
too.
had this, the
Brain
surgeries
surgery,
and
yeah.
been in the hospital and recovery that she's been going through. So we went out for the first time, and it was a big, big deal. And of course, we went to our very, very favorite spot, one of our absolute favorite spots, which is the Pearl Restaurant. If you haven't been to
Oh,
the
you went
Pearl Restaurant,
Pearl? I'm jealous.
Pearl. I mean, it's real close to the house, and it's just extraordinary.
Yummy.
One of the great things that came out of Hurricane Irma in 2017 was the fact that Bob and Patty Miller had to move their restaurant into Naples because they've always had a
Used to be
restaurant for many, many years
Everglades,
in
right?
Everglades. Yeah, and they moved their restaurant and moved it to Naples, and now we get to experience it, and it is unbelievable. It's some of
Really
the
is.
best seafood in the
It's-
world.
And those people, Patty Miller, she's a client here for, I mean, I don't know how long she's been coming, but she is the most kind person.
An example of what a great human being she is. So we had a stylist here, an amazing stylist here many, many years ago named Jerry. And if you've been around a little while, you would know who Jerry is, and he trained and developed a lot of the people in the organization, but also was just a great leader in the industry. From Michigan, came down here with Lisa many years ago, and he got sick. Yeah, Lisa brought him down here.
Wow.
So he got sick, and it was lymphoma, I think, was what he had, and he had no family here, and Patty took care of him throughout the whole process of him getting treatments up until he passed, and he was very, very sick at the end, and she was with him the whole time. Just, here's a married woman with a business in Everglades City at the time. They commute there, and she was raising kids, and she took care of Jerry all the way through, and took care of so many people. I mean, she's done that to way more people, and just recently gave her kidney, one of her kidneys, to her husband. Who,
I didn't know that. Oh, I think I did. Maybe.
Yeah, just an unbelievable human being. Super, great family all together. I saw James the other night, her son, and I sent Bob a message. He just got out of the hospital and is recovering, doing okay. He still was recovering from the surgery that he had for the kidney that he got from his wife. She's doing great, looks great. But anyway, great restaurant.
What'd you eat?
I had triple tail. It's sauteed triple tail, and the way they do it, the crispiness on the edges of the triple tail. It's a good sized piece of fish. And a lot of times you go to get an order of fish at a restaurant that is a dainty, tiny portion. I like to, when I have fish, I like to eat some fish. I don't want just a tiny little piece. I need to eat a hunk of fish, a fillet, and they just do it every time I've had it there. It's just cooked to perfection. Absolutely delicious. Scallops. She gets the same thing she always gets every time when she gets the scallops. And, of course, the appetizer was the tuna tartare.
Oh, I've had that there.
From there. It's amazing. And oysters. I got to have oysters. They know the name of they served oysters in Everglades. They know how to do oysters, right? Because eating raw oysters, it's kind of a specialty thing. And they do it perfectly.
And they
really
have a
cold.
really good happy hour, too.
I don't drink, so I don't know about that.
No, I mean food-wise. They do, different nights.
I didn't know about that, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about drinking.
I probably would be, too, but...
There were people there drinking and dancing. They were having a good time. It wasn't overcrowded. They spaced it right. They were doing the right thing. But anyway, I just had to say that because those are some good people who I love and adore. Awesome, awesome people. And I had a great time Saturday night. So thank you, Miller family, and your great team over there at the Pearl for being such amazing human beings. Yeah.
Briefly, I wanted to talk about, I was looking at TikTok today, and there's this girl and her husband. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that viral video where it's the girl and her husband says, he's like, get ready. We're going to do everything you want to do today. We're going to go to Target. And the girl's like, what? We're going to go to Target? And she's like, what about the baby? And he's like, I already got a babysitter, or your mom. And we're going to go to brunch. And she's like, we're going to go to brunch. Have you ever seen that video?
Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
How are you?
Good.
Good? Hey, let's go shopping. Want to go shopping?
Shopping. We have a baby.
No, your mom will be here in 30 minutes. Got a babysitter all lined up. We're going to go to Home Goods, then we're going to go to Target. Sounds good so far, yeah? Then you're going to go get pedicures after?
What?
Yeah, let's get pedicures. Yeah? Oh, eyeliner away.
What?
And then we'll go get brunch. You want brunch? We'll go to First Watch. Yeah, get some pancakes. Yeah, syrup on them. Maybe some biscuits. Oh, yeah.
And then?
Whatever you want to do. Yeah. Chick-fil-A. We'll go to peach milkshake. Yeah, peach milkshake. Ready? You want to go?
Wait, really?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah! No! No!
TikTok went super viral, and now they have this huge following, and it's amazing to see somebody they're like the funniest, happiest people, genuine people. That's what I like about TikTok, because it's like genuine people.
Now this is a family that you now follow? Is it?
Yes.
It's a family of people?
Yes.
Okay.
A wife, a husband, and they have a little baby.
And they make videos.
But they're not how some YouTube families, it's like, oh, Will James, they're like the perfect family. They're just happy.
Yeah,
people.
It becomes annoying because it's like, okay,
My kids are now watching these families.
annoyed.
and
Like we're supposed to be like the
Mason's
Beaver
like-
Cleaver family.
Mason's like, we don't eat dinner like they do, and well, they just put all the ideas in his head.
So a little more
of-
real.
Yeah, and they're just the funniest. You've got to see. That girl just cracks me up, and
We're gonna put them on here, and I'll check them out. And
yeah,
we'll
you'll like it. She makes me laugh.
It's the TikTok family, the TikTok video of the week or the conversation of the week. So we'll have to see who these people are, but they're watching them probably in the background right here too. What's the name of them?
It's like Life of Cat.
Okay,
and
we'll have it up there.
I'll find it. Yeah.
You'll have it on there for first. Okay, so we're done. we're finished for the week. It was a short show, but thanks for being with us. Oh, let us know. Please tell me, wherever you're watching this, what's the consequence going to be of me not getting
Into shape.
in shape? Okay. And that's a lifestyle thing. It's, up and down, and it is for everybody, but you can do it with us, but we're going to do this together. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm committed.
You're how many days?
14? Today's 14, 15.
Day 15. Okay.
But I'm committed. Like, you ever
I
just
know
get
you
to
are.
that point where you're just like, and maybe COVID, I gained some extra weight. I feel like I've never been this fat, and
You're not bad.
I know, but I
It's just
feel
not where
that
you want
way.
to be. You
Yeah,
don't feel
I'm
good.
not.
I got
I
it.
wanna
You don't feel good about
yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
And it's possible, and I can do it. I'm gonna do it, and we're gonna
And you
do
look
it together.
beautiful. You look beautiful always. So, and you're just going to feel better about yourself. and
That's
be healthy.
totally what it is.
Yeah.
It's just taking care of my body, taking
Good.
care of my mind.
So leave us a comment.
What do you-
Please tell us. That's the one thing. Oh, by the way, and if you leave a comment too, you're getting something. I guarantee you're getting a minimum of $100 gift card to the salon. Okay. If you do it by the end of March, so you got 2 weeks to do that. Do it by the end of March. Leave a comment. If you do it on the podcast version, just send an email by the end of March 2021.
Did you send out the other ones?
I did.
Okay.
Actually, I left a message. So if they're for the other three that did not have Cash App, I asked them online, please email me at this
Got it.
address
Okay, awesome.
your Venmo, because we
Got
got to
it.
do it by Venmo on those three. And the ones that are in-house, they got theirs. They were sent through
I know.
Gusto.
I heard. Krista and Christy were like, they were in the back room. They were like, "Whoa, did we get paid today?" And everybody was like, "No, we didn't get paid. Why did you guys get paid?" And then they were like, "Oh yeah, it's because we commented on the YouTube video."
Yeah, that's all you got to do. That's all they had to do. Just watch it and then write a hello. And they, congratulations.
That's
Thanks for doing
funny.
that. That's awesome. What a team. I love
yeah,
those
I
guys.
love you guys.
So that's all. That's all for today. We'll see you next week. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy
Thanks for being with us.
Monday.
Happy Monday. Have an amazing week. Love you and appreciate you. See you
And
soon.
shout out to my mother. I love you.
You better say hi to your mother. It's your mother.
I love you. Thank you for doing all you do.
Have a great week. See you, everybody. Bye.